welcome all, welcome all for multi-category tournament 2022 into a week 6. And week 6 is exciting because now we're into the later part of the Swiss rounds. So every match this week and next is going to be just an even match between both racers. Like, every match is going to be good. And then this match in particular, we got two titans of the randomizer, farfelu and Zeb. I'm Aussie. We have D-Web on tracking, and then Kramer. How excited are you for this match?
I'm really excited. This is the 4-1 bracket, I believe. So I think we're going to be seeing some great gameplay and hopefully not too trolly of a seed. Maybe a little bit of troll is okay, but hopefully nothing too catastrophic.
Yeah, so sort of what I'm expecting this week is to see a lot of suit skips. And so I'm expecting runners to like practice their RBO strats. And
Yeah,
that'd be fun to see.
for sure. With Chozo logic, it definitely can point you in that direction to go suitless, especially for lower Norfair I found in my practice runs.
Yep. So the settings this week are Chozo for the item placement. It's light area randomizer, and also boss shuffle is on.
Yeah, Chozo is one of those interesting item distributions. I didn't have much experience with it coming in, but my understanding is you've got all 16 of your major items, and then 2 missiles, 2 supers, and 1 pack of power bombs, alongside, I believe, 3 E-tanks and a reserve tank. So just enough ammo and energy to finish the game.
Yeah, that's right. This early game becomes like a lot of a thinking problem where you got to keep track of your power bombs and your first missile packs, because without the logical ones, like they're going to be picking up miners as they go, but only the ones on the Chozo statues are the logical ones, and so you can deduce where items are off of that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more strategy involved, and you know, with only 3 E-tanks and a reserve tank on the Chozo statues, you know, it makes hell runs interesting because they're, unless you find those tanks elsewhere, they're not in logic. So you might be gated out of certain items depending on what's there.
Yeah, so the E-tanks are important to keep track of for like tracking down suits mostly. But with where the items are laid out and a wreck ship being a random boss, uh, I think runners tried to go to Upper Norfair anyway, even if it is out of logic. But mostly helps with finding suits.
We have both bombs and power bombs down here in Retro Bryn. So what are your thoughts on meme route check here in light area rando?
So I'm not like entirely set either way. Uh, like you want to find a green Brinstar and get those majors, but you also would like to pop back up to criteria and clean up while you're here. Having bombs already, you can get Gauntlet on this trip. I'm more okay skipping the retro transition check. So.
And we have Divergence already. Zeb opting to skip the check while farfelu looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, checking for a super pack is still a thing that you want to do.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Those side hoppers, they do 80 damage to just the power suit. So farfelu took an unfortunate hit from one of them at low energy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a real rough start. The strat there is to get a mock bowl under the bomb blocks, but he was rolling too slowly and got hit. So that's like a 3-minute time loss. But does know about the super pack, whereas Zeb does not.
Yep, and again, because this is Chozo, that is not a logical super pack. So we will be seeing supers on the Chozo statues again later on.
Yeah, logically, all we have right now is morph, bombs, and screw attack. So it's like they haven't found the missiles or power bombs yet. But we're expecting to see a gauntlet have some kind of missile, likely. But
Because
doesn't
we
have
have,
to.
yep, and it looks like we're gonna see our old friend and have a BT fight this time around.
Yep, early bombs. Let's see fight BT. A classic 5 missile fight here. Farm up some more halfway through.
Should be pretty quick. No supers to make it, blink of an eye, but should still be not too much of a time impediment. And space jump, a very welcome movement item this early in a seed.
Oh yeah, space jump screw. They're just gonna fly through gauntlet.
I have to admit, space jump and screw attack, both gauntlet and X-ray, it just feels so good.
Yeah, and then like even deeper into the seed, if they need to get through Lord Narfair in a hurry, it's just gonna make that safer and fast. Always think like 20 minutes ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly. It does look like Zeb is going for the gauntlet play, so we should just see him fly on through. farfelu has a little bit more energy this time, so it looks like he can take a hit from the side hoppers. And we're going to see that meme route transition check after all.
That's a Torian, so that's unfortunate. Just gonna have to go backwards. And that's an entrance that in light area you can usually figure out by checking all the other entrances. So knowing that isn't too helpful.
Yeah, light area. I'm not sure we explained the difference. So in light area, the connections for each area are randomized, but they're not completely random. The area maintains its regular connections. So, for example, criteria normally has one wrecked ship, one Turian, one red tower, 2 green Brinstar. Am I missing one, or is that all of them? I think that's all of them. So those transitions will all be randomized. So they still connect to those specific spots, but they will be randomized. So where you normally would find Turian, you might find the back of wrecked ship, or where across the moat you might find red tower.
Yeah, so like Rekshik in particular, if you get the back, you just can't go that way because we don't have the movement items yet. And then on top of that, like on top of the light area randomizer, we have boss shuffle, and that disincentivizes Rekship even more. Farfelu passing by 230. We'll see if it goes back for that.
And meanwhile, Zeb finding that wrecked ship transition, the front side of wrecked ship, opting not to explore it at this point, turning right around.
This is a red tower. So that would put both green Brinstars on the right of Criteria. So I guess Zeb's going to look for green Brinstar from red tower. It's a little early to be skipping that entire zone.
Yeah, I can't see that happening, but it looks like it's going to be farther on down with I believe red tower has 3 Meridia transitions. So we found one down, 2 to go.
That's right. You can see a lot of Meridia transitions from here. Alpha Peebs, another major. So red tower has Alpha Peebs, X-Ray, and Spazer. And then the branches from here, we have all those Meridias, Green Brinstar, Criteria, and most importantly is the Upper Norfair transition. Because there's only one way into Upper Norfair. It's through Red Tower.
Yep, acts as a little bit of a bottleneck, and when you're on the hunt for suits, as our runners are, it can cause a little bit of backtracking for sure if you're looking for Vari or you're looking for gravity.
Farfelu is going right of this ship, so this is going to work out. Take him straight to a green Brinstar.
And I like this play. Having lost some time, I think he's taking a little risk that Zeb checked the left side first, did Gauntlet, did 230, and he's hoping to get a routing decision here that might give him an advantage.
Yeah, so what's unfortunate is that by skipping 230, he missed out on the screw attack, and screw attack is very powerful time save over the course of the run. But skipping Gauntlet was fine. It was only super packs up there.
And so we're going to get our first peek at the first major, and it's a big one in Green Brinstar, Various suit.
Yeah, so we're going to hope Zeb finds his way back to Green Brinstar.
Yeah, finding that there for Farfelu, probably, I'm sure he's happy to see it, but maybe not necessarily in that location, since it's almost guaranteed that Zeb will come across it in fairly short order.
Yeah, you don't feel like you gain an advantage finding there. You're just happy to see they haven't left it somewhere else.
Yep, exactly.
But with these settings, there can't be a suit in criteria, which would be the two locations that Farfelu skipped already.
It looks like Zeb finding the elevator down into Green Brinstar, so our runners are going to be high-fiving here in a little bit.
Yeah, and then this route's going to work out well for Farfelu. Get the other Chozo Major at Brinstar Reserve, and then up the elevator takes him to Red Tower, and that's where he's going to want to be next. Zeb, on the other hand, I guess has to turn around. Is going to know that the bottom two Brinstar exits go back to criteria.
Yeah, definitely a routing advantage for Farfelu for sure. Now, whether that, making up a little bit of time from the beginning of the game, whether that's offset by not picking up screw attack, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. Lose 2.5 minutes that early, you just feel behind the whole seed and gotta make the time back somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it affects any of his decisions down the road.
Yeah, we're in the 4-1 bracket, so both runners know just how good the other is.
Yeah, at this level of play, 3 minutes makes a significant difference. So, Farfelu looking for every advantage that he can get.
Yeah, and making like small skips of locations, a great way to save time.
What are your thoughts on charge versus ammo in Chozo?
I like charge every time because there's fewer locations to check. But then it's also true that you can leave behind charge in a really nasty spot that is bad to go back to.
If I'm not mistaken, the item behind Ridley is logically locked by charge, and Croc is charge logic as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so Croc, Batoon, and Ridley are all locked by charge. With these settings, you can get behind Batoon without fighting him. But that's something to keep track of when looking for charge.
And depending on your suit locations, you can almost deduce where charge is, depending on what you find at some of those other locations. example, if you
Yep.
find gravity behind Croc, you know that charge isn't anywhere in Meridia.
Yep. Like in these settings, it's also good to point out that suitless Meridia is never going to be a thing logically, because gravity locks all the majors. But we can kind of see now where the racers match up, now that Zeb has done his backtracking. Farfelu needs to check these two transitions to know where things are, and is also behind on the X-ray check. And there's our charge beam, speaking of.
The reverse commentator curse. You speak it and it appears.
Yeah, runner's definitely happy to see that. They have a various suit and charge with a beam, so they're gonna go straight down to Lower Norfair, clean that up. With light area, you know you can get to the back entrance of Lower Norfair pretty easily, so don't need high jump or anything for that.
And these runners are skilled enough that they can likely do grapple escape from Dragon, but I know in at least 3 practice seeds I've run, I've headed down and taken the 1 in 4 gamble that Dragon's in Lower Norfair and without the gravity suit, and I've lost that gamble every time. So as long as you've got a way out of Dragon's room, definitely headed for Lower Norfair, but we'll see what the runners decide to do.
So this counts as a play for Farfelu. Was in a good place to check wreck ship. Let's see, has Very already, but not the ammo. So can fight Dragon. So can fight 3 of the bosses here. So he's hoping for something good with this wreck ship play. Yeah, this is a bit of a delayed wreck ship, because already went through the Brinstar checks and a couple of Red Tower, so it has a few more items.
Taking the safety save after picking up that first item. It looks like we are about to see our first boss. Any predictions? What you think is going to be here at Wreck Ship?
Let's put Crate here.
I'm gonna call vanilla. I'm gonna say it's Phantoon.
That would make an interesting seed. You get big divergence then. You're right.
The real question is, once ship activates, is gravity up here? If gravity's at Wreck Ship, that could put Farfelu in a pretty good position.
Yeah. So Zeb would be thinking about skipping Gravity, but still needs a couple more items for that. And if gravity is just in the ship, then those items would have to turn up.
One potential downside to gravity being in the ship is you almost wonder whether Farfelu would pick up Spazer. I think he will pass by there to get to Lower Norfair, or to get to Upper Norfair / Lower Norfair, so hopefully that doesn't take him off path.
Like maybe there's a world where you get gravity here, exit out to East Meridia, and then clear out all of that. But Farfelu checking Spazer seems likely.
Again, with those 3 minutes lost at the beginning, he might be looking to skip checks, so we'll see.
I feel like coming to Wreck Ship makes enough divergence to offset the time lost at the start, and now it comes down to the routes being different. And what you find here. Wreck Ship has 3 major locations. Right side supers counts as a boss item, even though it's not a Chozo statue. And there's also the E-Tank, and there's a missile pack next to Gravity is the last Chozo statue. Okay, so Lucky for Zeb has good ammo count. Or, I mean, I guess grapple is all you need. Never mind. So Lucky for Zeb has grapple beam, and I can likely do the grapple escape, even without high jump.
And it, you know, I said it earlier, the 1 in 4 chance. We'll hope that, you know, Zeb has enough energy left over to get that high jump bootless escape, but it's a tough trick. I am absolutely sure Zeb has done it before, but very nice quick grapple kill.
Yeah, getting the quick grapple kill is gonna help save on health. More tries at the escape. And lets us see how skilled he is with the grapple already.
Fills up to full off the boss health and ammo drops. Spring ball.
The spring ball is one of those skip gravity items.
Now, can you use spring ball to get out of Dragon's room suitless without high jump?
No, you would need high jump.
Okay. So 2 out of 3 of our items in wrecked ship so far are blanks. So we're going to be seeing the top, it looks like. Zeb making that escape look easy. And let me tell you, chat, that is not an easy trick to do.
Yeah, just getting the first jump like takes a lot of practice. And then doing the rest of the escape without high jump is just doing it really fast.
One of those cases where, you know, high level play makes extremely complicated and difficult maneuvers look effortless. I will take this opportunity to plug both of our runners. Go check out their Twitch channels. You can see right here we're already seeing a showcase of excellent play, so give them a follow, give them some love, giving us an exciting race today.
Yep. There's 2 great runners doing their thing. Farfelu recognized that a mistake was made early on, and I feel like this is like intentional divergence going to wreck ship, even though it lined up with his routing pretty good. I feel like he thinks Zeb is making the Norfair play with that early various hit.
Yeah, the seed was definitely kind of pointing you in the lower Norfair direction early on, so I think you're absolutely right. We're about to see if that divergence is going to pay off for him. If this is gravity, I think he's going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it almost has to be gravity to for it to really pay off. Ice Beam's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't gravity, you know, Speed Booster or Ice Beam are probably the next 2 best things you could find here. That will save him a pretty good amount of time in Turian.
Yeah, so it kind of offsets the trip going through bowling. Cutscene's pretty long. But now we know that gravity is closer to where Zeb is. There you
Much
go.
closer to where Zeb is.
Okay, gravity acquired. And then normally you'd want Ice Beam as a way through Batu and Hallway, but since Zeb has already killed Dragon, then you can take the back way through Cack Alley and not fight Batuin at all.
Yep, and yeah, I believe that puts Zeb in go mode.
Still making checks. But yeah, that would be go mode. So Zeb hasn't fought Ridley yet and still has to think about Mother Brain. So another beam would be really powerful. And there's a plasma beam, the best beam of all per
From
game.
your mouth to the seed's ears, apparently.
Yeah, you can thank me later, Zeb.
farfelu heading in to do the X-ray check.
X-ray was just a E-tank.
We've seen all three logical E-tanks.
I don't know. I just stopped counting once we got Varia, really.
That's true.
I could see farfelu like playing it the same way from here. You check Spazer, check back at Lauren Orfair, then high jump after. There's a play you can make in like Russian Croc, but I don't know.
I mean, once he finds Charge Beam, that could point him in Croc's direction. And again, that's probably a check that Zeb may delay. So it could definitely point him in that direction. And I mean, if you're looking for the Kraid's Lair transition anyway, you know, and you find Croc, bonus.
There's our charge being found at Spazer once again. Zeb just looking for the Kraid transition. Also checking more Chozos.
I mean, it makes sense with Speed Booster, Outstanding, and Ice Beam. And they're kind of on path, more or less.
I feel like there's still a bunch of bad majors, though. Zeb hasn't seen all that much. Got his good items too fast.
Yeah, very true. And he did just get... Oh, go ahead.
There's a lot of game left, so speed would save a lot of time. Must be what he's thinking.
farfelu opting not to take the trip into Lower Norfair at this point.
Yeah, so it makes sense to put off Lower Norfair because it's by the Red Tower transition, and you're going to pass by there anyway. So just put that off until after you get better items. And yeah, that's going to work out really well, finding Gravity next.
For sure. And that lack of screw attack also makes it a much less appealing prospect, which Zeb did have at the time.
That's a great point. Instead, going to have Plasma Beam to help with their Lower Norfair. And this is the last area transition for Zeb, which has the Kraid Lair.
So we've got Ridley and Kraid still outstanding. 50-50 shot. What are you calling?
See Kraid. Let's call Kraid again.
I think it's Kraid
that Ridley
too.
Dragon swap.
I feel like Ridley, you know, needs a vacation in Meridia.
Oh my god. A Ridley at Kraid's Lair. Yeah. It's never Kraid.
Never Kraid. Which, I mean, isn't as big a deal in Chozo logic because that item in Kraid's storeroom isn't a major. So, not a big routing issue. Definitely not in this seed, but just in Chozo in general.
Yeah. Either way, it's just the one item behind the boss.
Zeb's gotta be close. Yep, there it is.
It had a good amount of ammo going into the fight, so it's just a couple charged plasma shots.
Meanwhile, farfelu quickly traversing the cathedral connection. Space jump just makes that run so much easier.
Yeah, we'll see how farfelu routes this to look for Great Slayer. Opting to come down by the speedway for a super refill, it looks like, and puts him pretty close to Croc Slayer.
Looks like he's going to be checking it, so we'll be seeing Ridley here shortly. Full beam combo, I imagine he takes that fight. Almost full beam combo.
Yeah, coming right here and also skipping at least the wave location checks. Just going to save a lot of time for farfelu. But of course, down the lower Norfair, but up the wreck ship. Lower Norfair being the longer zone to traverse.
Yep.
Charge Ice Plasma, same damage as supers. You just fire shots slower.
So 30 shots, or 20 plus his supers. farfelu will be collecting that item back behind him.
So this will be Zeb checking the last West Meridia entrance, and that'll tell him where East Meridia is. It looks like it's here by the map station. And then his route's going to work out really well, where you enter East Meridia, fight the Dragon boss, whatever it is, and then exit out to wreck ship. Then you're back at Criteria after that.
Looks like he is opting to go up the tube and skip Batoon. I saw a question in chat. Rando settings this week: Chozo item logic, light area randomization, and boss rando. For anyone joining or just needing a reminder.
Yeah, we can do a short recap of the seed of the race. So farfelu took early death, trying to get to the retro Brinstar area transition, died to the hoppers, but continued with that plan later on. And so we had a little bit of route divergence in how they played Green Brinstar. And that ended up putting farfelu closer to wreck ship. And so they've already cleared out wreck ship, but Zeb went straight down to Upper Norfair with that various suit, which was in charge beam location. So nice benefit of CAC Alley here is the CACs are like guaranteed super drops. So right after using them all on a Ridley fight, just nice to get a refill.
Yep, not only faster routing, but get to pick up a little ammo along the way. Not that we need too many supers for our good friend Kraid that we're going to be seeing here.
Yeah, nor for Fantoon soon after.
farfelu beginning their descent into Lower Norfair.
Then I said that farfelu has the Fantoon boss kill in wreck ship, but when Zeb fights Fantoon, they're going to be like in a better position to go to G4 afterwards, whereas farfelu has to find a way from East Meridia to Criteria efficiently.
Yep, and it's most likely going to be backing back out Aqueduct and heading to Red Tower. But I think Zeb has only seen the left side transitions in Criteria, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll probably have to do a little bit of searching to find that Turian entrance, which we know is down at Meme Route.
Yeah, I feel like the entrances line up where he just pops back out Red Tower, where we first entered. And then first thing you'd want to check is the 2 over by the moat. I think we can say farfelu feels behind in this seed. Doing wreck ship for not really enough gain, also early death. But wondering a little bit how Zeb feels. Like maybe you assume your opponent takes the same kind of route, but like doesn't check a couple majors, like Gauntlet or Wave Beam.
Right. Or maybe, you know, farfelu takes the business center checks on the way or before he heads to Lower Norfair. Has gravity for Dragon, maybe a little faster boss fights.
Yeah, they're like reasonable ways to have routed the seed that would have been faster than what Zeb did.
Not much faster.
No, that was still a pretty clean Dragon from Zeb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, other than just the time that was needed to set up and execute the jump, pretty quick.
Very good. Both runners have Spring Ball now.
Everyone can rest easy.
Blue has to be a little careful with this escape. Without Screw Attack, you can still take hits from mostly the Key Hunters leaving Lower Norfair. But with Plasma, that'll help.
Yeah, even with both suits, Lower Norfair does not mess around.
Yeah, like in this Wasteland room, it's almost impossible not to get hit by the hoppers. And they still do like 40 damage.
Like a likely three round Phantoon for Zeb. Phantoon giving some...
That's a good fight.
Yeah, relatively polite patterns. I don't think there was a slow. So with all 4 G4 bosses down, Zeb is on their way to Turian.
Pretty unlikely to continue looking for that speed booster at this stage.
Yeah, maybe right side supers, maybe, but even then, that'd
be the only one.
Opts to skip it. farfelu giving the Key Hunters due respect and blasting at least one of them before heading up.
Yep, had one hit to spare and used it on the last one, so I guess it's out alive.
Just need to traverse East Meridia.
So farfelu can opt to fight Batoon since they have the ice beam. And I think that's a little faster than going around.
Yeah, he knows it's Kraid, knows he probably doesn't need to refill on ammo or farm very much, so just give Batoon 10 supers and call it a day.
I guess it is possible to die to Batoon, actually. Like, there's some routes for any percent where you get here on basically no health, and runners are used to dying to that.
Batoon has shut down a number of runs that I've seen in the past. But definitely not free.
Yeah, most common strats have you take a hit or two, even just get in good position.
Right, but hopefully between one tank and a reserve should have enough health to tank a hit.
Probably one last safety E-tank for Zeb.
Not even needing to pop the reserve tank. farfelu finishes off Batoon and is on his way to Kraid.
Okay, so this is Zeb having checked the last area transitions. Knows that the remaining one over in Blue Brinstar goes to Torian because this is light area. And is going to head straight there. Yeah, picked up the good number of power bombs, sitting on 15 max. So can power bomb all the Metroids without having to refill. Or hope for drops.
Very comfortable ammo count. Should be noted, no ice beam, no speed means no Zeb skip, but the super and regular missile count should be sufficient to take care of those Zebs and get Mother Brain as well. I believe.
Yep. And it's another reason why finding Plasma is so important, because doing just charge Spazer for Mother Brain is a very long fight.
Never feels good. And especially when you only have 4 E-tanks in a reserve, that's not a lot of room for error.
Zeb now finds that there was a super pack there very early on in the seed that he opted not to check.
farfelu, already having dispensed with Kraid, is on their way to G4.
So picking up this super pack probably does not come out to be worth it against Charged Plasma. Mostly because of the fanfare. I think it's 7 seconds of fanfare, so that's worth 7 shots. That'd be higher total damage with your beam.
And it's worth noting, in area randomizers, the elevator does fully refill all your health and ammo, so Zeb did not need to take a ship save on the way down. That elevator did that work for him.
And when you're on just 4 E-tanks, it feels a little more comfortable doing these Metroids with power bombs, because you're going to take some damage while you're at it. We are not
spring ball dodges.
So we're not likely to see a baby skip without high jump. So it's fine to be at low health after this. Or if you are going for a baby skip, then you'd want full health.
Zeb damaging down. Spend as little time as possible in that baby cutscene.
Could damage down more. Okay, 57 was the key number, I guess.
Optimal, really. Farfelu, coming into Criteria, knows exactly where Turian is. It's going to be heading there post-haste.
Not too far behind. Both going to be in Tori at the same time. But I think the big differentiator is that wreck ship play. Clearing out all of wreck ship takes a while.
Yep, which may have been necessitated, or precipitated, I should say, by that early death.
Yeah, it's kind of how you want it to play out, where there's big route divergence, and it's not you did the same route, but you were behind because of an early mistake.
Right.
So on no ice beam, I like to jump into the glass here to avoid the Rinkas. Whipping a super into the glass. I guess they're just fine though. Just the one Rinka hit.
Ammo to spare. And I'm not the math guru. I'm not sure how many shots this is, but with plasma, not too many I would expect.
Should be 40.
I had 40 in my brain, but I didn't want to say it because I was not sure.
Yeah, it's something like I don't really think about, but just plasma is half the damage of full beam, and full beam's 20.
Already in the catch-up phase. Gotta be a little careful. Those catch-ups can do serious damage if they catch you just right.
Yeah, very common for catch-ups to double hit, and they do 100 damage each hit. But with the reserve tank, we've been able to survive that. It's those rare triple hits you watch out for.
I mean, this is Super Metroid. You've got to expect and be ready for anything.
You see farfelu damaging down a slightly different way because they don't have screw attack. So using pseudo screw to get that charge down.
Didn't actually know you could do that. Interesting.
So 2 baby Metroids at the same time. One's gonna like fly right as the other flies right.
Baby Metroid high five.
So from here, Zeb has a pretty simple end of seed. Just finish out Mother Brain 3 and climb through the escape. Bit of a slow escape, not having high jump or speed, but has enough of a lead that looks like Zeb's going to be taking the win in this race.
I don't know about other runners, but anytime I'm in the escape, it always gets my heart pumping a little bit. Even no matter how many times I do it, I love that sequence of the game.
And then you can look at the timer and see that we're going to finish like around 50 minutes, sub 50. So we've had pretty fast seed here.
Yeah, pretty quick. Even by Chozo standards, which I understand Chozo seeds are generally on the faster side.
Yeah, it really helps get like both suits in charge on your route, where the general route you're going for is down to Lower Norfair and then up through Meridian Rexha. And then that's how Zeb played it. Got everything that was needed on that path.
1, 2, 3.
Finish.
Easy.
As farfelu taking some damage.
Still has that reserve tank.
It's a chunky catch-up. 2 tanks down.
Zeb executing a very smooth left side wall climb.
He's practiced at it. Zeb's played countless randomizer seeds. Winner of at least one previous Super Metroid Randomizer tournament. Now setting himself up to be in a good position heading into playoffs with 5-1. We have Zeb winning the race.
GG to Zeb. GG's in chat.
Official time is 49:39.
farfelu not very far behind, heading into Mother Brain 3.
As the runners finish up, we'll wait for them to join us for potential interviews.
It looks like we are joined by Zeb316. GG, congratulations.
Yeah, GG, thanks.
GG, good race.
Yeah, that one. I felt really good about my decisions and how I played it, but my decisions didn't really, I felt like, work out all that well for me.
I guess I was mostly wondering how you felt about your route. Seemed like a pretty standard route, but then kind of made some checks that didn't pay out, and maybe like could have put off Lower Norfair till after Gravity Plasma.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but I was worried that like Ridley or Kraid would be there, and then that Gravity would be behind one of them, and I didn't want to get stuck checking things like Croc that I don't have to, if that were the case. And I figured I could kill any boss, so I just wanted to do it then, but didn't really end up working out for me.
Yeah, it makes sense. You do have to go through Lower Norfair, get that one major check. And then your Dragon fight was, it was fast. Didn't lose much time to that.
Yeah, it was basically like, the fight itself was basically a grapple kill with gravity, so didn't really lose time to the kill itself. I took a couple of attempts on that, on the grapple escape, so I lost a little bit of time there, and I lost a good amount of time farming too before the fight, so that was more what I was a little worried about with that, and I was worried because I didn't find Kraid until the last transition either, and then I was also really worried because of that Torian being where it was. I think I lost probably a minute and a half just checking the 2 right transitions before going down and checking Torian, so...
See farfelu finishing up with a time of 52:45. GG to farfelu.
It looks like we are also joined by farfelu. farfelu, GG.
Hi, GG, Zeb.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, that was
So,
a weird start for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the race room, I really got screwed by the Gmer, or don't remember that name, but that's why I maybe route a bit more aggressively. And I think other than that death in the early game, I think I did pretty well. But I think even without that, Zeb still wins by a couple of seconds. Yeah, it should have been very close.
yeah, so the upper Norfair portion like really goes to farfelu for just the order of checks that you did it. But that death, I don't know if it made you go into wreck ship, but going through that transition, I feel put you in a better spot to check wreck ship, and that was kind of the bigger decider.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, only ice was in red ship. So I was betting on maybe a fourth suitless seed, and ice being there could be my only way.
yeah, not going to see four suitless in Chozo, unfortunately.
Of course,
Uh,
yeah.
but was that like, um, was the death the reason for the wreck ship play, or just
Yeah,
convenience?
exactly. It was, yeah, I doubt that Zeb would do this. So yeah, I route a bit aggressively in Norfair, which paid out. But yes, the rig ship clear was not. I would have done it. I think in other circumstance.
Yeah, I was thinking that the wreck ship being vanilla once I realized that was kind of my out here because I wasn't really super like I was saying earlier, I was pretty happy with how I played it. It just didn't end up really working out for me. Um so I thought that I was probably behind going into Torian. I thought if you checked behind Morph, if you didn't have to go through all the portals before finding Kraid, if you did found gravity before going into lower Norfair, those are all things that would really save you time on me. So and like every one of those things kind of just didn't really work out for me. So I wasn't feeling great heading into Torian, but I was hoping that you went to wreck ship and cleared it, and that is what ended up happening. So
Yeah, exactly. But like Ossi said in Upper Norfair, I think it was pretty much a good route. It was very optimal. I found Lower Norfair said, well, I don't have screw or things to make it easy, so I'll just go check ice and I jump. There I found gravity, so well, okay, now Norfair seems pretty nice. Still went to check. I wanted to find Kraid first. Uh, I went straight to Kruk door transition, and Kraid was there. So yeah, kill the boss there, then go to Lower Norfair and leave. Uh, that part was really nice, but yeah, the blank wreck ship
so did
maybe
you
need
just
some
skip?
time.
Did you just choose to skip 230 then? Because that's where screw attack was.
Yeah, I guess it was a super pack or screw attack leading to a super pack in Gauntlet.
Yeah, I had a seed the other day. Before that seed the other day, I think I would have skipped Gauntlet after getting that screw attack. But the seed the other day, actually, one of the portals led to Green Brinstar, and then the first super pack was at charge. So I was thinking Gauntlet could still be something if one of those portals led to Green Brinstar, and they didn't. So Gauntlet, I did check Gauntlet, and that was a super pack too, which actually was kind of
Okay.
nice to have in Norfair for the Ridley fight and for being able to go to Lore Norfair first, but
That was your first super pack at that point, wasn't it?
mhm.
Yeah, because you didn't check
Actually,
behind
you
more.
you. Oh yeah, yeah. I already had a super pack. Yeah,
Mhm.
of course. But yeah, as you said, actually it happened in my week 2 race against Loaders. We had screw attack early, and our first super pack was at Green, yeah, Green Bryn Reserve. So yeah, stuff like that can happen. But yeah,
Mhm.
I was so feeling behind, I could not check that.
Yeah, I feel like in So this week's settings, I've done a lot of practice seeds for this. And to me, it almost feels like if you're, well, like, in my experience, if I'm not sub 50, it's not a very good seed for me, generally. Like, these seeds are just so fast. And that's why I don't really generally scout out portals in this. Like, also because if you don't scout out portals, normally you're like, well, I have a 50% chance of being right anyway, and that the time I would spend checking and potentially being right is about the time that I would spend scouting it out anyway. So, a lot of times it's just like not worth it to scout out portals, and with the seeds being so fast and so linear a lot of the time, losing any time becomes all of a sudden a lot more meaningful than it would be in like a full area randomizer where it's a lot less linear.
Over here taking notes for my race later this week.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to escape from Farfelu. I was pretty scared when I got this matchup, but Farfelu's
Farfelu
really
is
good runner.
such a record.
But
yeah, it was a really enjoyable race to watch. You guys with the route divergence definitely kept us guessing for a good chunk of the race there. Any kind of final thoughts on the seed or this week's settings so far?
Well, it was a very fun race. Yeah, even with what happened. Thank you. I guess thank you for the restream, and looking forward to week 7. Hopefully, I hope I can make it to the tiebreaker. It was a pretty tough road. I mean, with my opponent for this tournament. So yeah, I hope at least I can have that win on the last week and hopefully keep going. And good luck to you, Zeb, for your last week.
yeah, thanks. Good luck to you too. I'm also a little curious how this would have ended up playing out had Dragon been vanilla instead. And that Ice Beam in the wreck ship ended up being really important, where I would have to Crystal Flash clip and lose more time on this. But yeah, good luck in your next week's race. Hopefully you can win and have a chance at that tiebreaker match.
With that, thanks to both the runners putting on a great race for us today. Coming up later is Omi versus Aikir, SpeedGaming 4 at 9. And then 10 is Crocomire Maniacal on 3. And that'll be it for today. More races tomorrow and through the rest of the week. We have many Super Metroid matches to go through. Thanks to D-Web for tracking, and thanks again to Cranberry for helping me here on comms.
Yep, and just thanks for a great race, and to everyone who made it possible.